So my name is Gary Ross-Mitchelle. Correct spelling is Mitchell. On my birth certificate, it is Mitchelle because my father, who was addicted to crack cocaine and an alcoholic and so forth, he misspelled my name at my birth on my birth certificate because he was high on crack cocaine at the time. This makes me different from the rest of the people in my family. I'm the only individual in the family with the E at the end of our last names. I take it as being different. So sometimes I'll be like Michelle or whatever, you know. So sometimes I just use it as just something different, you know. Growing up was domestic violence, drug and alcohol in the house, gang member relatives, fighting drama, arguments over money between my parents, just a lot of confusion in the house. I was very sad. I felt lonely all the time. I'm a depressed kid, a fatherless kid. My father wasn't around. He either was in jail for domestic violence, on the streets doing crack cocaine, or just not around. So I didn't have a father. I was a fatherless child. My mother, she raised us by herself, 6 of us. I was the baby of the family, and I know it was hard for her because it was too many kids for her to just try and tend to their emotions. So I ended up feeling like I didn't have a mom either, and eventually turned towards the streets. I joined a gang at the age of 12 years old, which basically led me to a whole lot of other stuff. I'll get to that. But gangs became my friend, my day, my night, my afternoon, everything. You know, I was the streets. I loved the streets. I loved the hood. I wouldn't change it for nothing. Eventually landed me catching cases as a juvenile. I caught multiple cases, weapons possession of a previous offender, you know. I eventually had a son at the age of 16. I had to drop out of school. I had to quit school. I had to tend to my son. I had my mother there to help, but it's still different because I wanted to be there for my son. So at the age of 16, I was a child trying to raise a child. My very first job was the Denver Pavilions. And even when I went to work, I took a weapon to work. Many people don't know that, but I took a weapon to work because I was involved in gangs. And while I was at work, being a cashier at the movie theater, I had a pistol on me at work just in case the enemy or something came into the movies and something happened. You know, I started smoking cigarettes at 8, smoking weed at 9, drinking at 11. I was disrespectful, disobedient. I was wild. I was just crazy. I was a crazy young kid. Throughout those years of me going to jail, in and out, the reason why none of it never worked was because I didn't want it to work. I didn't care for it to work. I didn't want it to work. I was like, okay, boom, I'm going to jail. Boom, I'm getting back out to the streets, to the homies, whatever. You know, that's how I saw it. You know, it hurt my mom. It hurt my family. I never took their feelings into consideration because it was all about me at that point in time. I'm like, y'all ain't there for me anyway, so I'm about to do me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was on. Little did I know that it would come and backfire on me because I don't want my son to be like that, you know? So eventually I grew tired of the streets, the gangs, the in and out of the jail. I got shot in the back of the head. I got my other head split open. I've been stabbed. My house has been shot up. Almost lost my mom's life due to my wrong actions and my gang banging, and man, I was a lost kid, you know. Me myself, I was raised Christian, grew up in a Baptist church, baptized Baptist, but I ran away from it for a long time, and I was in the streets. When the streets had me, the streets had me. I didn't think about church. I didn't want to go to church, and you couldn't tell me about church. But eventually, I just grew tired of it after a long time of running and just repeated cycle of failure. I just gave up. You know, I was like, Lord, please come back to me. Please take over my situations, my hardships, you know, and he did exactly that. And I gave my life to the Lord. And since then, I have had the most greatest life I could ever possibly have. I didn't have a license. I got my license. I was a harlot in the men's world. I was a little slut bag, whatever you want to call it. I had multiple women. Now I'm a married man. I'm a happily married man. I was a failure as a father. Now I'm a success as a father. My son lives with me. I love my son. I take care of my son. I mold him in the right way. Throughout the years, I've been building new friendships and new relationships which benefit me and my family as well. The Lord is my best friend, and that's really all I need besides my wife and my kid. My strengths that I've learned throughout the years was, at one point in time, I didn't like people. Now I love people. Interacting with people is one of my strengths. Talking to people is one of my strengths. I was a leader in the gang, and that was in a negative manner. I turned that into a positive about me. I'm a leader in my work. I'm a leader in my household. I'm a leader as a father. I'm a leader in the church. I'm kind of like a big brother to many, an uncle, so forth to other kids. And my leadership qualities make me a great aspect to the world in general. You know, I know what my purpose is now, you know, and that is to lead, because for a long time, that's all I ever did. I'm able to solve problems real easy. I'm a thinker. I went to college to be a youth counselor, trouble youth counselor, because I've been through it. That's something I want to do. I want to share my story with other people and help other people out. And that's why I'm doing evolvUP. I want to be somebody that you can look up to, somebody that's been there and done it. And I'm not just talking about it, you know, like a lot of kids don't want to hear you say, yeah, this, yeah, that, but bro, you ain't never been through it. But I've actually been through it, and I've made it here today. You know, I have my home, I have my wife, I have my kids. I don't even look back, you know. I've been through hell. Many say, thank the Lord you don't look like what you've been through, and I don't. And I'm very thankful till today. So if I can do it, if I can knock out all the negative thinking and the wrong upbringing, and you got to be this, you got to be a thug, you got to be from the streets, you got to do this, you got to do that. All the wrong things, if I can knock all of that out, then you can too. Because it was very hard for me, but I wanted it, so I strived to do it, and I did it, you know. So by the grace of God, I'm here today through being shot, house being shot up, stabbed, and everything else. I had to really work internally. I had to work mentally, harder than I ever have in my life. It's so easy to do anything wrong and negative, but the hard part is to actually strive for success in your life. Why settle to be good when you could be great? And that's one thing I stick to daily besides my faith, which keeps me together as a man today. So if I can evolve up, you can too.